Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation on the role and importance of gold in price and pricing strategies in Islam. In Islamic economics, pricing is not merely a matter of numbers or market mechanisms, it is guided by ethical teachings derived from the Quran and Hadith. Central to this framework is the principle of adl justice, as well as transparency and mutual consent in trade. This sets Islamic pricing apart from capitalist systems, which often prioritize profit maximization and allow for exploitation through interest riba, uncertainty gharar, and gambling maisir. Islam prohibits these practices, ensuring that prices reflect the true value of goods and services, so no party is unfairly treated. Mutual consent in transactions is essential. As emphasized by the Hadith, the buyer and the seller have the option of canceling or confirming the bargain unless they separate. Sahih Bukhari. Gold, meanwhile, has played a central role in Islamic economic history not just as a commodity, but as a reliable and ethical standard of value. The gold dinar, introduced during the early Islamic Caliphate, was based on a fixed weight and served as a stable medium of exchange, promoting consistency and fairness in trade. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH discouraged manipulation of precious metals, advocating for honest transactions. Gold's role extended to religious and legal matters, such as zakat almsgiving, mar dowries, and diya compensation for wrongful death, underscoring Islam's preference for tangible, stable assets that reflect real economic value. This assignment explores three main objectives. Firstly, to understand Islamic pricing principles rooted in justice and contrast them with capitalist models. Secondly, to analyze the historical role of gold in Islamic trade systems. And thirdly, to evaluate whether these principles, including the concept of a gold-backed economy, can provide stability and ethical alternatives to modern financial systems in times of inflation and economic crises. Ultimately, Islamic pricing is not merely an economic formula, but an ethical framework based on justice, trust, and sustainability. The rise of the Islamic world occurred within a geographic landscape already shaped by existing monetary systems, notably the Byzantine gold solidi and Sasanian silver drams. The early Islamic economy did more than inherit these systems, it transformed them, laying a solid foundation by formalizing gold and silver as standardized monetary anchors. Gold, through the dinar, and silver, via the dirham, evolved from precious commodities into fundamental units that supported an expansive, cross-continental commercial network. This evolution fostered sophisticated economic interactions that endured for centuries. The standardized gold dinar played a pivotal role in Islamic trade during the Golden Age, facilitating commerce across regions from the Iberian Peninsula to Persia. Its consistent value and widespread recognition made it a trusted medium, reducing the need for bartering or navigating diverse local currencies. It also served as a universal unit of account, ensuring clarity in pricing, taxation, debt settlement, and everyday commerce. The dinar's portability and high value-to-weight ratio further enhanced its utility for long-distance trade. A major turning point occurred under Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik, who implemented a sweeping coinage reform that included establishing the mithqal as the dinar's weight and maintaining high purity standards. The introduction of state-controlled minting, or sikka, involved inscribing coins with Quranic verses and minting data measures that deterred counterfeiting and asserted Islamic political and religious authority. This reform eliminated the need for merchants to repeatedly weigh or verify coins, thereby boosting trade efficiency. As the gold dinar and silver dirham spread throughout the Islamic Empire, they fostered a unified economic zone, encouraging regional specialization and creating a shared financial identity. While the gold dinar dominated the Islamic economy for centuries, the modern era has largely shifted toward fiat currency, in line with global economic systems. However, gold's relevance persists both as a stable store of value and a hedge against inflation and devaluation. Today's Islamic financial institutions continue to incorporate gold into various Sharia-compliant instruments, such as gold-backed savings accounts, that align with prohibitions on interest and excessive risk. Although some advocate for reintroducing a gold-backed currency, modern gold dinars typically exist as privately minted investment coins with limited transactional use and no official state backing. Nevertheless, gold remains a symbol of stability, trust, and ethical value in Islamic finance. In Islamic thought, fair pricing is based on justice adl and benevolence ihsan. Prophet Muhammad PBUH discouraged unethical market practices and only permitted price control when injustice harmed the public. Scholars like Imam al-Ghazali emphasize that prices must represent actual value and be rooted in moral behavior. Because of its stability, gold has historically offered a just medium of exchange, resisting manipulation and ensuring equitable dealings.
Gold's scarcity, durability, and universal appeal make it naturally resistant to inflation and manipulation. Unlike fiat currency, which governments can print endlessly, gold has a finite supply, maintaining consistent purchasing power across centuries. This characteristic fulfilled one of Islam's core economic objectives, preserving justice and protecting people from harm caused by currency instability. The Quran condemns unjust wealth reduction, and gold offers a dependable means to uphold this principle. Islamic financialists use gold not just as a relic, but as a vehicle for long-term economic stability and protection against volatile financial cycles. Today, gold continues to play a vital role in ensuring fairness, trust, and Sharia compliance. Its use spans gold-based mutual funds, ETFs, and savings products that avoid riba interest and dirar uncertainty, offering Muslims a responsible way to build wealth. Gold is also increasingly used in digital forms. Fintech platforms like Hella Gold use blockchain to offer secure, Sharia-compliant gold investments with low entry barriers and transparent tracking. In the field of takaful Islamic insurance, gold enables fairer premium calculations and claims payouts by reducing fiat currency volatility, thereby reinforcing consumer confidence. For zakat, the nisab minimum wealth threshold is traditionally measured using 85 grams of gold, a practice that guarantees fairness in charitable giving and aligns with Quranic commands against hoarding. This shows how gold supports both spiritual and economic duties.
Gold's influence also extends to Islamic marketing and consumer behavior. It is viewed not only as an economic tool, but as a religious and cultural symbol, mentioned in the Quran and associated with paradise. Economically, it encourages responsible savings, inflation hedging, and asset diversification while upholding Islamic ethics. Religiously, gold holds significance in other traditions as well. In Christianity, it symbolizes divinity and is used in religious art. In Judaism, gold is a sign of wealth and heritage. Buddhists use it for shrine decoration and charity, and Hindus regard it as sacred and economically valuable. From an Islamic finance perspective, gold must be traded in compliance with Sharia law, particularly in spot transactions. It is used in pricing commodities and financial products, where its stability is seen as a safeguard against inflation. However, challenges remain. Gold's price volatility, storage requirements, transport costs, and opportunity costs pose practical issues in its broader economic application. Still, in times of crisis, gold stands out as a safe haven asset, strengthening investment portfolios and maintaining relevance due to strong industrial demand. Despite modern transitions, gold continues to serve not only as a tangible link to Islamic heritage, but as a foundational asset with enduring ethical, financial, and spiritual value.